All right, this will pissed me off. This is an update to a story I've talked about a few times. This is from Variety. Let me read you a little of this. President Trump and CBS are in advanced settlement talks in the lawsuit over a 60 Minutes interview with Kamala Harris. The parties requested a stay in all proceedings in the case until Thursday, July 3rd, suggesting that a settlement could come soon. Quote, the parties respectfully submit that good cause to stay all proceedings exists because the parties are engaged in good faith, advanced settlement negotiations. This is what they put in a motion to stay proceedings. As you will recall, this is a lawsuit in which Donald Trump sued CBS and its parent company, Paramount, for $20 billion for an interview that 60 Minutes did with Kamala Harris during the campaign. And Trump says that the interview that they aired was edited and that it was deceptive. Now, number one, most of these interviews are edited. Did you ever watch an interview of this orange buffoon on Fox News? Those are the most heavily edited friggin' interviews you'll ever see because they edit everything out that makes Trump look stupid. Now, imagine sitting down with Trump for a 20-minute interview and you're going to edit out everything that makes him look like a fucking idiot. You're left with like 30, 40 seconds that you can actually air. That's what Fox News does. All right. And you know what? They have a First Amendment right to do it. As much as I despise Fox News, but so does CBS. This lawsuit is 100% frivolous. Anyone who knows anything about the law will tell you completely frivolous. It should have been dismissed already. But the truth of the matter is that Sherry Redstone, who has the controlling interest of Paramount, doesn't want it dismissed. She wants to settle this lawsuit. She could have much more aggressively had her lawyers push to dismiss this thing and speed it up, and it probably would have been dismissed by now. But there's a merger that she wants to push through that needs to be approved by the federal government. And so she wants to make sure that goes through, because Trump has already, threatened that maybe that won't go through if we don't settle this lawsuit. And so she wants to use this settlement to bribe Donald Trump. That's what this is. This is bribery. Let's be very freaking clear about that. And by the way, just because it is bribery that is being done through the vehicle of a lawsuit doesn't make it any less of a crime. Now, is this going to be prosecuted? Almost certainly not. And it would be difficult to prove, but if you could prove that this settlement was intended to bribe Donald Trump, and both Paramount, Sherry Redstone on the one side and Trump on the other both understood that that's the purpose of this settlement, there you have a bribe. It doesn't matter that you funnel this bribe money to Trump through a settlement of a frivolous lawsuit. It's still a crime. You'd have to establish those things. But to me, this seems like a clear case of bribery. And by the way, I know this is just an academic exercise here because nothing's going to come of this, but Donald Trump would not be immune from prosecution for bribery. And this would not be the only instance of bribery since he came to office in January. There's been a whole hell of a lot of bribery. Many things that could easily look like bribery and that warrant investigation. Of course, that's not going to happen. But bribery, my point is, even given the Supreme Court's awful decision in that immunity case, Trump can be prosecuted for any acts of bribery in which he engages while president, because that immunity decision only protects Trump for official acts. And it cannot possibly be argued that accepting bribes in any way is an official act, when the Constitution itself specifically enumerates bribery as one of the crimes for which presidents can be impeached and removed from office. So it can in no way be argued that bribery is part of his official duties. But again, I know that's all academic at this point. Nothing's going to happen, but how freaking, that's what this is. And if this article is correct, it's possible that we're going to hear about a settlement soon. $20 billion lawsuit. And you know how they filed this friggin' thing? They went down to Texas to file it under a state law, which is a consumer protection statute that is designed to protect consumers from false advertising. That's what it's about. So if some car maker lies about their car to get you to buy it, and you buy it based on their bullshit lies, you have a cause of action against them. That's the statute under which Trump is suing a media organization for an interview that they did. It is so patently absurd. And $20 billion. You know, in any lawsuit, you have to prove damages. Even if the lawsuit had any merit, which it absolutely has none, you still have to prove damages. What damages did this jackass suffer? Of course there's no damages. He suffered no damages. Anyway, this is just freaking infuriating. This story also says that the Wall Street Journal reported last week that a mediator who's involved in helping the parties reach an agreement, a settlement, the mediator proposed a $20 million settlement, with $17 million of that going to Trump's presidential foundation, which essentially is a slush fund for Donald Trump. And Trump has also sought an apology. $20 million. So if something like, I don't care, he shouldn't get a cent. There should be no settlement. There should be a big F you piece of shit. But as I said, CBS, Paramount, Sherry Redstone have no interest in having this dismissed. They welcome the lawsuit because it gives them a way to bribe Donald Trump under cover of a lawsuit. To me, that's what this seems to be. I don't know for sure because there's not been an investigation. And guess what? There never will be. I hope there is a revolt at CBS. Not that it'll friggin' matter. Not that Sherry Redstone cares. You know, CBS is chump change to Paramount's interests. They don't care about CBS. They certainly don't care about 60 Minutes. Whatever. This whole thing makes me freaking sick. Anyway, that's it for now. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you again soon.